September 13th. Fancy meeting you here. Actually, I'm delighted. So, how about you grab a coffee and let's talk about a realistic utopia of a fair society. Okay, so far I've established that society is a dataset which all members willingly use in their individual world generation protocol, so that the resulting models in the minds of the members align to a degree that allows common goals and cooperation. I also explained why, in order to create a realistic utopia that describes a set of institutions that are the best we can hope for given what we know about human nature and the constraints of the natural world, no part of this dataset shall be prescribed, because whatever is prescribed and not agreed to by all needs to be enforced with violence. We don't want to start from a point where violence or the threat thereof is already written into the result. Our goal from the outset should be a dataset that every member can accept as fair. How? Well, with today's technical means, it might even be possible to bring the population of a country together for a convention and have a debate, like the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. But as we can see right now very vividly in the US presidential election, people with money and power will try to throw their weight around to influence the outcome. Not all voices would have the same value, what would lead to results that are not acceptable to all. And we are at a point again where we need force to enforce what has been brought about, so to ensure that everyone is using the same dataset. A better solution was proposed by the political philosopher John Rawls. It's a thought experiment called the original position. According to Rawls, if we want to know what a fair society would look like, we should ask ourselves how we would choose to organize it if we did not know what our individual circumstances would be in the society we create. Basically, this is what physicists call a theoretical cow. We eliminate the need to protect what we got by allowing for the possibility that we could be a Wall Street Christian billionaire, imagining the best possible society, just as well as a Latino seasonal farm worker or a black trans kid in Tennessee, just to give some examples. This veil of ignorance also means that we have no idea what either of these statuses means in the best possible society we design. When Rawls came up with the original position, it hadn't yet been established that what we all live in is a model of a universe of our own creation that, with almost no semblance to the actual physical universe, widely varies between people. Your world you live in, that you have created, self-generated in your head, is not the world I live in, that I have self-generated in my head from a few perceptions and hypotheses with a lot of creativity. So he couldn't phrase the original position in the language of individual world generation, but the original position can easily translate into this language. What Rawls wants us to do is to go back to a mind unencumbered by any dataset that we are fed from the moment we are born today. He asks us to base our hypotheses with which we fill the gaps between the few perceptions we take in from the position of the first humans consciously negotiating an alignment of their self-generated models of the world, What data set would this person be ready to agree to use from then on out to offset the high risk of random searches that we would love to engage in, because these searches also promise the highest payoff by cooperating? And I think this is exactly the question we need to ask, because it reminds us not just of the goal. We don't just want cooperation, but also the reason why we seek cooperation: to enable all of us to explore, to lean into our curiosity and the unknown, to combine new information that we find on the way with existing knowledge, so that the highest payoff can be created for us and for everyone else. There are many ways to organize that will lead to cooperation, but only few will lead to cooperation that allows the largest measure of exploration for all. When we lose sight of a reason why we seek out cooperation, it will lead to resentment in those who are forced to, in the majority, exploit existing knowledge and not being able to explore for themselves and create high payoff. As a result, they are open to use their data sets, their own or those that are implied to them, other data sets. The alignment of the self-generated models decreases in this society. The cooperation cannot work as well anymore, and the easy way out will seem to be the use of violence and the threat thereof to force people to use one particular data set again for their world generation from there on out, that has been chosen by just a few people who think that's a good choice for their reasons. Either it's because they are really very altruistic, or they just want their own benefit. The latter is usually the case. What do you think? Tell me. Reply to me. Comment. And we will see tomorrow again. And I will go live tonight again, I think, in my kitchen while cooking dinner. And I will talk a little bit more about what I wrote today. Until then, bye.